In March 2020, Nashville, Tennessee became the scene of a heart-wrenching tragedy that would resonate far beyond its borders. The shocking deaths of Holly Williams and William Lanway not only rocked the local community, but also ignited a national conversation about the pervasive issues of domestic violence, mental health struggles, and the dire consequences of tumultuous relationships. In this video, we will delve into the harrowing events leading up to their deaths, unravel the investigation that ensued, and examine the broader implications of their story on domestic violence awareness. This is more than just a story of loss. It serves as a powerful cautionary tale that underscores the importance of recognizing the signs of abusive relationships and the critical need for seeking help. Join us as we navigate through the complexities of their lives and the lessons that emerge from this tragedy. Holly Williams was a 31-year-old woman who was known for her vibrant personality, infectious laughter, and caring nature. She was described as a beloved daughter, sister, and friend, bringing joy to those around her. Holly had dreams and aspirations, and her life was filled with potential. However, beneath her bright exterior, Holly struggled with the complexities of relationships, particularly with her estranged boyfriend, William Lanway. Born and raised in Nashville, Holly was deeply connected to her community. She had a close-knit family who supported her through thick and thin. Friends recalled how Holly had a passion for life and a love for adventure. She enjoyed spending time outdoors, exploring new places, and cherishing moments with loved ones. Unfortunately, her relationship with William would prove to be a significant challenge, overshadowing her vibrant spirit. William Lanway, born in 1988, was a man with a troubled past, marked by aggressive and erratic behavior. He and Holly began dating several years before their tragic deaths. Initially, their relationship seemed typical, filled with the excitement and promise that often accompanies young love. However, as time went on, the dynamics of their relationship began to shift. Friends and family of Holly noted that William was possessive and had a history of jealousy. Their relationship was characterized by volatility, leading to frequent breakups and reconciliations. While Holly sought to distance herself from William, he struggled to accept the end of their relationship, leading to increasingly concerning behavior. Holly's loved ones noticed signs of emotional abuse in their relationship. There were multiple instances where William exhibited controlling behavior, demanding to know Holly's whereabouts and monitoring her social interactions. Reports surfaced of William verbally belittling Holly, further exacerbating her feelings of isolation and fear. Holly often confided in her friends about her struggles, expressing her concerns about William's temper and instability. The history of domestic violence in their relationship is crucial to understanding the tragic outcome of their story. Law enforcement had previously responded to several domestic disturbance calls involving the couple. In these instances, Holly reported feeling threatened and fearful for her safety. In one notable incident in early 2020, Holly went to the police after William had stalked her, showing up uninvited at her home and following her to various locations. He even attempted to contact her repeatedly through phone calls and social media, violating her attempts to create distance. Holly's fears intensified as William's behavior escalated, and she became increasingly concerned about her safety. Despite her best efforts to distance herself, Holly found herself caught in a web of emotional manipulation and intimidation. Friends noted that Holly often felt guilty about leaving William, fearing his reaction and potential harm. She often struggled with the fear of retaliation, which is a common experience for many individuals in abusive relationships. In the days leading up to the tragedy, Holly's situation became increasingly precarious. On March 1st, 2020, Holly was reported missing after failing to return home from a night out with friends. Concerned family members contacted the police when they could not reach her and grew worried about her well-being. As the police began their investigation, they quickly learned about Holly's tumultuous relationship with William. Friends and family provided details about Holly's fears and past incidents involving William, which raised immediate red flags. The authorities recognized the potential danger Holly faced, given Williams' history of violence and controlling behavior. On March 3rd, police received a 911 call reporting a disturbance at a local hotel. Witnesses indicated that William was involved in a heated argument with Holly. Despite the police being dispatched to the scene, by the time they arrived, both individuals had left. This encounter highlighted the escalating tension surrounding their relationship. On March 4, 2020, Holly's friends reported that she had not been seen for several days. Alarm bells were ringing, and the concern for her safety grew. Holly had previously confided in her friends about her fears regarding William, leading them to believe that something terrible may have happened. The investigation took a devastating turn when on March 5, 2020, a construction worker discovered a car abandoned at a construction site in Nashville. The vehicle, later identified as belonging to Holly, contained the bodies of both Holly Williams and William Lanway. The scene was grim and shocking. Authorities quickly determined that Holly had been shot multiple times, while William had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This discovery sent shockwaves through the community, prompting an immediate investigation into the events that led to this tragic outcome. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that William had taken Holly's life before taking his own. This tragic murder-suicide highlighted the devastating consequences of a toxic relationship characterized by control and violence. The investigation into the murders of Holly Williams and Bill Lanway began with a complex web of deceit, betrayal, and violence, largely fueled by Eric, a married man who had been involved with Holly through her escort service under the alias Lila Love. Eric's life took a dark turn when Bill, Holly's boyfriend, hacked into her escort account, uncovering sensitive information about her clients. Bill used this information to blackmail Eric, knowing that revealing his involvement with an escort could devastate his marriage and reputation in the community. Rather than comply with Bill's demands, Eric sought help from his private security guard, Gil. He initially tasked Gil with uncovering Holly's true identity, suspecting that Lila Love was a pseudonym. However, Gil enlisted the help of Brian Brockway and his brother Chad, who were also in the security field. Under the guise of investigating a missing woman, Chad dug up extensive information about Holly, believing he was helping someone in distress. As the investigation progressed, it became clear that Holly was not the source of Eric's troubles. It was Bill, who was extorting money from him. Adam Carey, another security contractor, eventually confronted Holly directly, realizing the complicated dynamics at play. After untangling the web of blackmail, Adam decided to send messages to both Bill and Holly and followed Bill to a grocery store. On March 11, 2020, Bill called Eric, presumably to press him for more money, leading Eric to make a fateful decision. That night, Eric authorized Adam and Brian to kill both Bill and Holly if necessary. Shortly after, Brian and Adam flew out to Nashville, where the murders took place on March 12th. Security footage from Holly's apartment captured them leaving together at approximately 11:40 p.m.
Security footage from that night from outside of Holly's apartment shows her and Bill leaving their home. Then Bill turns around and heads back into the home before leaving again. But within a minute, startling screams could be heard from the security footage.
Shortly after leaving, gunshots were heard, and you can hear continuous screaming, indicating an ambush in the parking lot. The footage revealed that Bill was targeted for his blackmailing activities, while Holly was accidentally shot in the chaos. Realizing Holly was still alive, Brian and Adam shot her again to ensure she wouldn't survive. Following the murders, the perpetrators disposed of Holly's car at a dump site and drove to Memphis, where Adam dropped Brian off at the airport before returning to North Carolina. In a bizarre twist, Eric left a glowing review for Gill's security firm, Spear Tip, as if the murder for hire was an ordinary service. This online review raised eyebrows and prompted the FBI to dig deeper into Eric's finances, revealing he had paid nearly $1 million to the killers. The investigation took 2 years, as detectives worked to connect the dots amidst numerous dead ends. They sought solid evidence linking Eric to the murders, as he could easily claim that he had hired the security team to investigate Holly and Bill's identities, rather than to kill them. The police decided to approach Chad Brockway, who had initially assisted in gathering information on Holly, without understanding the true nature of the investigation. After learning the truth, Chad agreed to cooperate with the police and went undercover to extract more information. In his undercover role, Chad contacted Adam, who was surprisingly open about his willingness to commit murder for a fee. The discussion confirmed that Adam was familiar with the murder-for-hire process, leading to a meeting between Chad and Brian at a restaurant where Chad wore a wire. Initially reticent, Brian eventually boasted about the murders, describing how he overpowered Bill and bragging about Adam's willingness to kill Holly. This shocking revelation painted a disturbing picture of the killers, highlighting their lack of remorse. On December 10, 2021, the police coordinated simultaneous arrests of Brian, Adam, and Gill to prevent them from fleeing. However, they refrained from arresting Eric immediately, as they still needed concrete evidence proving he orchestrated the murders. Once the 3 men were in custody, investigators presented Gill with a deal. If he helped them, he could mitigate his own charges. They devised a plan for Gill to call Eric and feign a request for more money, prompting Eric to reveal his intentions. During the call, Eric casually mentioned he would rather permanently eliminate the threat posed by Adam and Brian than simply pay them off. His statement about needing to ensure they wouldn't return in 6 months provided the police with the critical evidence they needed to charge him. Eric was arrested shortly thereafter while returning from a hunting trip. By December 2022, Gill pled guilty to murder for hire, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and kidnapping resulting in death. He awaited sentencing while fulfilling his agreement to testify against the other 3. The trial for Eric, Adam, and Brian took place in November 2023, marked by chaotic courtroom proceedings as each defendant had their legal representation. Their defense centered on the narrative that Gill tricked Eric into hiring them, suggesting that the murders were a coincidence rather than premeditated acts of violence. However, Gill's detailed testimony contradicted their claims, emphasizing that the original plan was merely to scare Bill and Holly. The jury took 2 weeks and 7 hours to deliberate before ultimately finding Adam and Brian guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, kidnapping resulting in death, and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Eric was found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder for hire and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Each faced potential life sentences, with hearings set for 2024. In the wake of this tragedy, the Nashville community rallied around Holly's family and friends. Vigils were held to honor Holly's memory, where loved ones shared stories of her kindness, resilience, and the impact she had on their lives. The outpouring of support highlighted the community's commitment to raising awareness about domestic violence. Holly's family took to social media to share her story, advocating for greater awareness and support for victims of domestic violence. They emphasized the need for individuals in similar situations to seek help and to recognize that they are not alone. The tragic circumstances surrounding Holly's death became a catalyst for discussions about the need for improved support systems for victims of domestic violence. Advocacy organizations also utilized this case to promote educational initiatives aimed at raising awareness about the signs of domestic abuse. They organized workshops and events in Nashville to educate the public about the importance of recognizing unhealthy relationships and providing resources for those in need. In the aftermath of Holly's death, Nashville's local government also took steps to address domestic violence. They launched campaigns to provide resources for victims, including hotlines, counseling services, and legal assistance. The community's response demonstrated a commitment to preventing future tragedies and supporting those affected by domestic violence. And that's it for today's deep dive into the tragic case of Holly Williams and William Lanway. We hope this investigation sheds light on the complexities and consequences of the choices made. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more true crime content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the unfolding events? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.